So all of them would go up,
Oh.
So we're sitting close to the front. And the bodyguard comes and taps my mom on the shoulder and asks if she can take a picture. So my mom turns to see, oh, with who? My city. It's Rihanna. And we're like, wait, is Rihanna asking to take a picture with us? Because for me, even though I had my mom who's been acting for so long, after I studied and I got my diploma, it took me 3 years before I found an agent. Like everyone was turning me down.
Assumptions is that it is much more easier for a woman to succeed in the music industry than a guy because women can just be naked and they get attention, and obviously when you have attention, you have everything.
And on top of that, you have me having to be mntana kamamsona. So am I not going to attract the wrong people all the time? Am I not going to be tricked into relationships?
Tango, otherwise Thando, Naledi, Mabuza.
Yes.
How are you feeling today?
I am great. I'm
look
actually good. Yeah.
That's super fantastic. Otherwise, just to start the conversation, tradition, I'd really like to say thank you for Gutubela.
Thank you.
Spending time with us and being such a wonderful person.
Thank you for having me.
Word. Just to start it off, in fact, yeah, it's just. And by the way, you're the first female to be on my podcast.
But it had to be like that. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm the rap queen of the East, and you're in the East still.
Bruh.
You understand? So it had to be like that. It had to be like that.
Super fantastic. When we big, I'm gonna have like a
please, as a belief. Yeah, listen.
Shit. Damn. But okay, why rap, Dojo?
Why rap?
Yeah.
Because it was the only way I could speak honestly about how I feel and not be judged about it.
Damn.
Going back to being a celebrity's kid. That's why. Because we can't trust easily. We can't have friends and expect to tell your friends stuff and not expect the whole school to know about it tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it was a thing of, it started as poetry where I just write or like write short stories, I always lived in my head because I never really had friends. So yeah, like it was weird. I had a lot of people that wanted to be around me, but I wouldn't have considered them friends,
Wow.
So also it was a thing of, if I had told someone something, someone else would know it. And I realized that, let me just write about it, just to get it out of my system. And then when I was 6, I went to America and I started primary school that side. And then there were ciphers, like during break time, during recess. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, let me go in and try. And I brought my poetry and it went with the beats as the beatbox. And I'm like, I'm going to be a rapper. That's where it came from. Yeah.
Nigga, what?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's been like that since I was 6 years old.
Nigga, even now.
Even now.
That's so crazy. And I have my own assumptions about you. One of the biggest assumptions I have about you is you don't have any problems.
I'm probably
true, 50%
it's not even, it's 100% incorrect.
What?
100% incorrect.
But,
why would you think that?
Because your life, in a way, when I think of it, because it's all assumption from coming from me,
is
that your life is perfect, man. Like Makriza is this famous person. Obviously everything is nice at the house, juice and everything. So like, what problems do you have?
Yeah, no, I have problems. I mean, I'm a 28-year-old black woman living in South Africa. I definitely have problems.
Damn. I know a lot of things you won't be comfortable to talk about, but some things they're gonna help somebody watching this being like, fuck, she has the same problem.
Yeah.
But what is the 3 problems that you not say currently, because so kulmangayo currently, that you previously had that when you look back at it, you're like, the fuck?
I had choosing the wrong nigga, I guess. Those were problems. That could help someone. No, honestly. Yes. Especially as like a modern girl. Because back then it was a thing. You would see women need to be in the kitchen, what, you can't work, you can't do this, right? And now you have me as that person. And on top of that, you have me having to be mntana kamamsona. So am I not going to attract the wrong people all the time? Am I not going to be tricked into relationships that aren't real? Those are problems. That means I'm 28. I mean, this is the stage of settling down. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a problem to kind of get the right person.
Word.
Yes. That's problem number 1. but it's not top
just to
one.
interrupt you, sorry, it's because now I get that sense of somebody here might want you not because they know you or
Yeah.
anything, but they just know that piece of information
Exactly.
and they're assuming a lot of things with that probably there's a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Everything is
Yeah,
nice,
exactly.
my man. What, problem number 2?
Problem number 2. Going to auditions and being turned away because of who my mom is, or any job for that matter.
Wow.
So it's not really a positive. It's not always nice, you know. There's always a thing you go see, but why can't her mom help her, or you know, why should we give her a chance? Like, she has better opportunities.
Word.
Like, her chances of being successful are more than any other kid. But I mean, those are problems, because then you're not looking at my qualifications or looking at me for me, but you're just shadowing me under the fact that you think what's in your shop, you know? So getting jobs has been a problem in my life. Like, I've never, ever been employed, ever. Never in my life. I've never been employed. Never. And that goes to having to start your own stuff for you to survive. So yeah, I don't have problem number 3, Sham.
For real?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
TV,
No, it's just those problems.
For real?
Yeah.
You're starting your own thing.
Yeah.
How is it going though?
It's going really well. I actually didn't think it would, but it's going really well.
Yo, that's super dope.
Yeah.
And some of the problems that you faced in your own endeavors of entrepreneurship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's worse because it's creative entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
Selling art in a way.
Mm-hmm.
What are some problems that you faced in that area?
Starting your own business is a problem in terms of just capital to start it. You know, you have this idea, but where you're going to get the money to execute the idea. Having problems like approaching people to possibly help you or to invest in your thing. And then again, you're Connie Chiume Daughter, like, why? You understand? You know what I mean? Or you just find people that are just jealous of you, or it's envy, and they're just closing the door because I'm just trying to show you how much more powerful or how much power I hold, you know? So starting a business, I think any other person who has any business would know the challenges of starting your own thing. It's difficult. And also there'll be times where you feel like it's going really well. Like, it's going really well. And then comes this dry season and it hits and you're just like, okay, no. And then you just hit this depression, anxiety, and you're like, actually, I'm not doing this. Especially because my company is based on giving back. So sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'm going through so much financial difficulties for giving back to people that will possibly not even remember me when they're famous. You understand? But I mean, if it's a calling and it's something that God put you to do, then you have to execute.
Damn.
Yeah.
Abantu abaningi in fact they love giving back, Joe, like community development work in a way.
Yeah.
Joe. So before we go forward, please tell me a bit about your company.
Which one?
You have a million.
Which one?
Species. I don't know how to.
Thespians.
Thespians.
Yes.
I asked you, why didn't you call it actors?
Because it won't sound nice. So the Thespians Masterclass is an acting school, right? The reason why I created, or rather started the Thespians Masterclass, was because I came from drama, like in varsity, so I got to study it. But when I came out of university and now I had to go into the industry, I realized that there was a lot of things that were not shared to me when I was there that I have to learn now that I'm outside of, right? And also it goes with institutions, right? They don't give you the tools to survive in the industry. They'll give you, it's okay, usbanbani, read the textbook and stuff, but those things are not in the textbook. How do I know that I'm gonna get to an audition and the casting director won't like me? Because how do I deal with that? You know what I mean? So yeah, and also just kids in the community always asking me, how do I find an agent? How do I this? Because for me, even though I had my mom who's been acting for so long, after I studied and I got my diploma, it took me 3 years before I found an agent. Like, everyone was turning me down. So it was also a thing for me, why didn't they tell us how to find agents? Why didn't they tell us that we need professional pictures like all the time, Uber or updates at Itombe? Read some monologues. Like, no one told me that. And now I've created something that actually just says, you know what? Actually, let's give you guys the more important stuff than the textbooks. Yeah.
Wow.
The tools to survive.
Wow. And most of the time, you have we're gonna talk about your other companies. A lot of artists have to transition to entrepreneurs because they have to
Yes.
create their own thing.
Jobs, yeah.
But entrepreneurship is a whole ball game again. So do you agree to that notion of if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, this is an assumption. If you want to be a successful artist, you have to somewhat have entrepreneurial traits.
Honestly, it's a yes and a no. It's a yes because how is that business going to become successful if you don't even know how to handle money or handle anything? Like, say for example, what my brother was speaking about with fundings and stuff. Say you apply for funding and you know nothing, and they give you 1 million. Are we not going to see you on iPlods? You know what I mean? So I feel like it is a yes and a no. Also because if you don't give that child that money or you don't try and start something, you'll never know if you really can. So it is a yes and a no answer.
Damn. But I need that answer. Should artists learn to be entrepreneurs?
Yes.
It just sucks and fair to being a struggling artist.
Yes.
And art needs a platform in a way. And I think I spoke about this with your brother, Wuti. Do we need to create more platforms or do we need to just be good at the already existing platforms?
We need to create. We need to keep creating because the things that are here are not sorry to say, owned by black people.
Damn.
They're not owned by you. They're not owned by me. You know? And the thing is with us, Tina, how can I put it? We don't, even if you get it, it's just like my brother was saying, even if you get it, it's not like you're going to share it with me. You understand? And even if I help you, it doesn't mean good when I'm so you understand? Inkinga ilapho.
Damn.
Inkinga ilapho.
Because us black people, we always cry. Everybody's like,
dude,
black,
it's a thing.
Black people are so backwards in a way. What are the practical solutions in a way? Like maybe Trinyano would say, okay, guys, I think if we start thinking in this direction, some things are gonna be nice. Because I think we have the power now. Like we young, some of us don't even know apartheid. I know it a bit.
Yeah.
But
if we could start by maybe, I don't know, if we could start by maybe like, if I know someone or something or an organization that can help you, I need to start sharing that with you. You understand? And also, not in a friendship way. So I think we also need to normalize business transactions between us as black people. Just because we live in the same hood and we know each other, it doesn't mean why can it not be strictly a business? I think that's where we also get it confused. It's like, how could you do this to me? But honey, this was business and this is how business works. We also need to normalize saying no. Normalize saying no, guys. Normalize saying no. If you can see, it's okay. I have these opportunities, nah? And I'm not saying let's say no to people that don't have anything at all. But if I have something that I'm doing, and ngiyabona ukuthi uma vinjo lapha estradeni yawo nkosi yami bhuti wabantu wozala uzosiconnectela ama mics okanya ne100 rand ngithola ukuthi ngithini cool. But if my vinjo now just always asks you for 100 rand but he never wants to come connect, no,
doesn't want to contribute,
no, and he doesn't have the right to say, hey, Lona he's made it now, but I offered you something and you didn't want it. What did you want me to do? Give you the whole podcast?
Damn.
No, but we need to say no. Sometimes we need to say no, because then that's when people take advantage of you.
That's so sad.
Yep.
Because in a way, I was thinking about this a couple of days or weeks or months ago. The fact that there is always this unity praised amongst the black community, which we need to be united. But one of the biggest things is Kabatayo is the fact that we don't have the same skill, or let me say, we don't all have skills that can add value to the group. So singahlangana sonke, there's 10 of us, but there's only one dope nigga or one nigga who's skillful enough to contribute to the group.
Yeah.
So in a way, how do we deal with that in a way? Being in a community that is that is disadvantaged, and obviously if it's disadvantaged, the odds of the whole community not having valuable skills in a way, so do you like skill people or do you get out of the community?
I think you do what I do. You skill people.
Wow.
That's what you do. That's what I do. You skill people. It's not. It's not. If you know the right channels and everyone else around you, listen, there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it. Why don't you take the step? It starts with you. And then you pass down those skills. Between those 10 or 15 people that you have touched, 5 of them are bound to go and repeat what you've done after you've died. So it continues as a ripple effect,
And it's so
attracting more and more people. It just starts by one person.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Yes, the biggest thing that is hindering community development is the economic part of it. I feel like there's no incentive, like economic incentive. So for a person, let me make an example. It's just friction in a way. Maybe me nangshala Togos or wherever, and it's a disadvantaged location.
Yeah.
I have a skill, but I don't have money. And if I'm gonna spend time in teaching kids or people a specific skill, then that means I'm not generating an income.
I get that.
So how can somebody have a mindset in order to hinder him again for jump at it?
Research. Research. It's not like just because you have money doesn't mean other people don't have the money for what you're doing. Research. You research. You're an NGO. Go and start up a company. We're gonna just company 170. Change something. 170. Go and register a company, an NGO, and then approach organizations. Research. That's it. Educate yourself so you can educate others.
Damn. In the research you have, it's overrated or underrated.
Yeah.
Because my wish is like, everybody knows I have to research, but a lot of people are not doing
exactly.
it.
If you just say funding platforms in South Africa, it will give you everything.
Money.
Simple.
And there's a lot of websites. Now
there is.
International funding. There's even when you start researching, there's stuff that you're going to start learning. You're like, hey, I didn't know of this.
Yes.
What?
About PASA, NYDA. There's a lot of organizations, guys. A lot. There's always funding somewhere. Lottery. It's not just about Upecha.
Lottery is giving people money.
Money, exactly.
A lot of,
but people don't know that.
Yeah.
People don't actually know that.
I think, again, it's about community because obvious. You move out.
Yep.
And now you start chilling with obvious.
With big people. Young Tola. Wow. So
I think sometimes there's circles in life.
Yeah.
And it differs to which circle are you in. But the one thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can create your own circle if you're smart enough.
Yes.
And you can educate your circle. Now you're sitting with 10 Tom Cops, and after 3 months, those Tom Cops are like 10 smartest people in the hood in a way. So damn research, and it's very vital in a way. Damn. So your second company, what do you do?
Melanin Goddess Productions.
Can you say it again?
Melanin Goddess.
Your name's God. Let's keep quiet.
Melanin Goddess.
Okay.
Yes. It's a production company. So what that one does is that it approaches places like State Theatre, Joburg Theatre, offering schools, clinics, offering to basically do shows according to whatever their problems are. So it's basically like industrial theatre. We call it industrial theatre, where you go to a place and then you research what the issues are and then you educate them through a theatre show. Right? So that's what we do. We also shoot music videos, shoot short films. We have equipment to shoot, so we do the whole production stuff in G. Music videos, films, writing scripts for people. If you have an idea and you don't know how to write a script, you come through, you give us a concept, your storyline, what characters do you want, we write you the full script. Yeah, so that's what it does.
Creative work. Super dope. A lot of people are doing that, or maybe a lot of people that I know.
No.
In the creative industry,
yeah.
But they are struggling.
Yeah.
What do you think they're doing wrong?
We are all struggling. I'm struggling.
For real.
Yeah. I wouldn't even begin to judge or say they're doing something wrong when I myself am not there.
Wow.
You know, so I don't know what they're doing wrong. I'm also trying to find my feet. Yeah.
I don't never I'm asking you about problems. But what situations have you ever encountered that you thought you could never survive?
What, in terms of business?
In terms of business, life so kulumanga. Or please give me 2 business, 2 life.
Okay, in terms of business, I know that, like, I think it was like a couple of months back, just before we went to America, like the intake, I usually like intake about maybe 15 students a month. And the intake was just like 2 people, 1 person, 2 people. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is my daily bread. Because remember, I don't work. I literally do this 9 to 5 every day. So it's like, okay, how do I pay rent now? How do I buy groceries? Now I'm starting to stress. My car's breaking down. I'm just like, Jesus, what is going on? You know? So it was a very, very big problem. Like, I really felt like, okay, I'm going to close this thing. I'm going to go work at Pep. I'll just wear a mask every day, you know? But yeah, like I've faced a challenge like that in business. Another challenge in business, so there was a time where I didn't know anything about money, and I got money, right? And I wasn't smart about how I used that money, right? And now that I look back, I'm like, there's so many things I could have done with that money. And like, babes, big time on my iPhone 10. Back then, iPhone 10 was and my laptop, like things that I didn't need, you know, clothes. And but I got the job done. It's just I had a lot of money left, and I realized that money left, I could have bought stuff that could have helped now, you know. But yeah, those are like those are mistakes. I didn't know that then, but I had to go through that to know now not to do that. And then life and its problems.
Besides finding a wrong man.
Mental health. I think that will answer for the two of life. Mental health.
Damn.
Mental health. I've been dealing with a lot of like anxiety, and I think it's also just because of everything that's happening in my life. And my life is like this. Like, it's good, it's bad. It's good, it's bad. That's why, like, when I'm going through something, I know it's gonna pass. You know?
It's gonna pass.
I wouldn't say like I suffer from depression. No. But I am a very anxious person, because if things don't happen, then I become nervous and then I start panicking, you know. So like mental health, keeping your mental health in check, that is hard.
Damn.
It's people, it's human beings. You walk out, you go to spa, there's a human being who's just human being you. And then you come home and there's human beings who are human being you. It's human beings. Just being a human being is difficult. Yes. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy, Joe. Anxiety. I wanna like touch a bit on anxiety in a way, Faye, too. Would you love to give up your anxiety at some point? Because I have this theory that some people, I wouldn't say they love being anxious and depressed and angry, but some people know what they have to do in order to be less anxious, but they choose not to. Let me give you an example. Maybe if I tell you, Guti, my friend Gauteng was we were talking to some friend of ours who is depressed in a way, says he's depressed, and then we were like, but do you know there's some people who right now as we talking is in hospital, that person cannot walk, that person udlanga pipe, all she wants or he wants is that to walk or to breathe, okay, meanwhile when you hear anxious about money, and our friend was like, I know I can think in terms of that, but I don't want to. That's too deep. So I'm good with my depression and anxiety. So are you like that, or do you feel like if I can find the tools to battle my anxiety, I will use them?
I think I am not like your friend. I'm definitely not like your friend. If I was, I would have let my depression get the better of me. I wouldn't have pursued my music career and it became what it is now. I wouldn't have pursued all the things I've done and made the name that I've made for myself if I let my anxiety crush me.
Wow.
So you have to find the tools. How else are you gonna survive?
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
How would you describe anxiety looks like? You understand? You can't feel something you can't see.
Word.
So you have to find the tools. You have to deal with it.
Damn.
If maybe there's that day where you're like, you know what, today I really, really can't, get into the house, do things that you like, switch off from the world, because honestly it's the world that actually makes the world, like the walls cave in even more, you know. Switch off from the world, rethink yourself, snap yourself out of it, talk to yourself, positive stuff, watch positive stuff, because now you're watching how do I kill myself, what pills must I take. Now you anxiety, so you need to just
and there's also this notion that in life, especially when you're young, you need the anxiety, you need the struggles in order to get to the next level of your life in a way.
I don't think you need the anxiety, but maybe you do need the challenges that life does throw at you.
Yeah.
And I really wish that we'll get to a place where we are able to cope with stress better, especially as youth, you know. We are not coping. We are not coping, and we're not making it easy for people to cope with it either, because you're there on my Twitter and you're talking about how much I don't have an iPhone 14 and you're crushing me, dog. Like, you're really crushing me, and you don't even know the back end of the story. You don't know if I've eaten. I'm busy looking at your tweets and I'm hungry as hell. You understand? So you're adding more stress to my life. So we need to stop that. You don't know what someone is going through. You never know. Mauqeda ukusenda that tweet umuntu yazihanga.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Yo, less depressing things in a way.
Yeah, please.
Talk to me about your music career in a way.
My
Before
music.
Ungena deep, I have this notion. I have a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, no, clearly.
Assumptions is that it is much more easier for a woman to succeed in the music industry than a guy, because women can just be naked and they get attention, and obviously when you have attention, you have everything. What's your response to that?
If you know Dynasty Future Betty, the rap queen of the East, you know that Dynasty Future Betty, the rap queen of the East, doesn't stand for things like that. Né? Number one, I'm a conscious rapper. So I'm not on your Nicki Minaj or like your Nadia Nakai or your... And I'm not even afraid to say it, because honestly speaking, it's not a self-proclaimed title. I didn't give myself that name. But I don't believe that girls should be doing what they are doing. Yes, 6 cells, cool. But without that body and without that hair and that makeup, can you really rap? No, you can't. Because what are you selling us? You're selling us something else, because you know that your music is not going to sell. So I prefer to keep my clothes on, because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And if it's going to take me 10 years or 15 years or 20 years for me to blow up, I am not taking my clothes off for anyone. I am not doing that. Would you rather
be a struggling rapper?
I would rather be like Dynasty Future Betty law until using your fang upcoming. I'm sorry.
For real.
Never.
I will have this conversation after 5 years.
Oh, please, let's go.
And I'm like, gee.
In 5 years, it won't be really rough. Mina ngizobakhle no Rihanna. When is
so we can shoot that out. Hey, God, I smile. Yeah, but that's really dope. How did that experience, like, how was the experience in a way?
With who? Rihanna?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you know what? That moment is a blur. Like the moment, right? The moment, like when she was in front of my face, it's a blur.
Wow.
But I remember, I think it was her bodyguard so my mom and I and my brother were sitting in the entrance, so the door was right here. So all of them would go up, you know. So we're sitting close to the front. And the bodyguard comes and taps my mom on the shoulder and asks if she can take a picture. So my mom turns to see, with who? My city. It's Rihanna. And we're like, wait, is Rihanna asking to take a picture with us? Hi, I give Norris my phone. I'm like, I am not going to take this picture. Give Norris my phone and we take the picture. American celebrities are the most humble. I'm sorry.
Wow.
The most humble. Imagine Rihanna asking you to take a picture with her. You know what I mean? So it was, and then from that point on, it was Burna Boy, it was Ban Ban, it was Ban Ban. Now everyone is just coming to us, you know. So it was beautiful not to actually feel like on that level, because we didn't have to ask for pictures. People were asking for pictures from us. So I was like, yo, this is the life that I want. Dude, I didn't even sleep that night. I was in my hotel room, like, just calling everyone from South Africa, because it was daytime. Everyone was calling me, like, yo, dude. It was beautiful.
That's an experience,
yeah.
dog. That's an experience,
yeah.
Joe. But why did you move? Imagine we said a move. Why did you move away from the States? I can say, like you did your primary. What do they call primary?
Elementary.
So you did your elementary
Yeah.
and then you came back for primary school.
Yeah, I came back for primary school, government.
Why did you come back, man?
My mom was busy with the production.
Okay.
So I was with her at that site for 2 years.
Wow.
So it was time to come home.
Damn.
I know.
It sucked.
It didn't, but it sucked going back now and being like, oh my God, why did I leave in the first place? Because I could have grown up here. My life would have probably been different, you know? But yeah, it is what it is.
I'm asking you a cliche question, and I think it's so obvious, it's going to sound dumb, but it's about the art industry and the art industry. So what is the common difference that people do? Actually, what is the uncommon difference that nobody seems to spot?
The arts industry in America is the one that gets that economy going.
Wow.
Tina, we are the complete opposite. Pella, without entertainment, that side, I think they're screwed. Word. Majority of their billionaires and their millionaires are people that are in entertainment. Word. So they have to make sure that they treat those people right. Wow. Or else the whole country is in trouble. Whereas with us, you know what I mean? So people don't actually know that. Like entertainment is the main contributors of them being so successful.
And it sells a brand in a way.
Yeah, the American dream. Everyone wants the American dream.
Yo, that's super
with
dope.
White picket fences.
Damn.
I want to naked. I can speech on
forever, but it's not the whole America.
No, there's different states. Like Atlanta, you cannot have a gate. It's illegal to have a gate in Atlanta. Yeah. That's how safe it is. It's illegal. No, not really. The food is not that great. Oh, the food is not great at all. Oh, the food. And as in like in diners, drive-ins and dives, you know, how they cook food. That's at my tacos. And you become so excited, like, oh, I'm actually gonna go eat that. Oh my goodness. No, we ended up even having to eat like strictly at a Jamaican or like close to Africa. Because we got to pick king in a hot cross pan. Like as the band. Pella, they mix sweet with savory. So, guys, let's appreciate our food. Like, listen, those Mountanas would slap that side.
And there's a lot we should appreciate. We don't know, because we're assuming a lot must be tea.
Yeah, no.
It's nice
listen,
and everything.
Food, give me 0, ma'am.
Give me 0, ma'am.
Yeah.
But to walk me through your new podcast, Celebrity Kids. You're even wearing a t-shirt, you're calling a dad.
Yeah. The Celebrity Kids. So Celebrity Kids had like a trial run about 2 years ago on Instagram, right? So it's been an idea that we've had since kids. And now we deciding to take a different approach to it. Also because we're grown up now and we've got to meet other kids that have parents that are celebrities. Whereas when we were children back then, we don't really know each other. Actually, I don't even think we liked each other.
Wow.
I think we were competitive. We realized that it's something that hasn't been done before in South Africa. And a lot of people have their own stereotypes and their own connotations as to how celebrity kids are supposed to be or how they are, you know? So we wanted to do a podcast where we would bring celebrity kids and interview them. And actually episode 1 is about ourselves with our mom and our brothers and our sisters, where you guys get to see how we live on the first episode. And then just address issues as to like, how does it feel for you? And we share experiences so people can actually see we are actually human beings and we're quite normal. You know? And don't judge us for being normal. I don't get why people judge us for being normal. Yeah, like who's are normal? Like, how am I supposed to be like? You know what I mean?
Fly or something.
But yeah, we basically just trying to kill those kind of stereotypes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super dope. Before we close the conversation, I'm so interested in your tattoos, Joe.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through like what the tattoos mean in a way, if they have meaning? Because some people have meaningless tattoos.
No, I would never take the pain for a meaningless something.
We don't know.
No.
For real? Okay.
No, my first tattoo was my daughter's name. Lelo, yes.
Wow.
Nontsige Lelo.
Wow.
And then my second tattoo was the rose, right? I don't know why, but I just like roses. No, it's not meaningless. I love roses. Roses are red, violets are blue. And then the music notes were next, obviously rap, right? And then there's also like headphones going there, music, right? And then faith free. So faith, I even have a cross here as well. So I'm very Christian. Like I'm very, very Christian. Like I don't play. Yeah, like listen, Jeremiah 51.
Do you go to church though?
I do when I can. But God knows that I pray every
Last
day.
time was last year.
No, last time was Easter. Okay.
Which was 3 months ago.
No, it wasn't.
Where's Easter?
Last time was
80 days
Easter,
ago.
Easter Monday. And then I have my mother's name. So I got my mother's name because she was sick and tired of seeing my arm with tattoos. And I was like, hey, let me just do it so that she could not mind the others. After I got my mom's one, then I got Africa here just before we went to America.
Wow.
Got the continent.
Wow.
Then my grandmother passed away. I got that one.
Wow.
I got Rap Queen on my thighs.
Nigga.
Oh, man.
How are you going to show it if you don't want to be... Oh, but you can wear something like this.
Yeah, but why must I show it? Is it not for me? And my husband.
2 people nje.
It's not for people. I did it for me. Ukuthi mangifa nazi ukuthi ngcwaba bani.
With the
Noma
tattoo.
bangidislocate zothi lamathanga lawa. Awe rap queen. I'm telling you.
That's super
Yeah.
dope, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm paying. So you look like your mom, Joey.
If I got 1 rand every time someone told me that,
like,
I'd probably be driving like a dope car.
I've had an expectation that you have to like follow her in footsteps like directly because you look like her.
Not anymore. Especially since my mom pushes us a lot in our individual stuff. So my mom's always made it public that my kids don't have to. They're doing their own thing. So people know that Nongelo does his own thing, Thando does her own thing, Dumi does his like... Yes, and then after, I see the drugs.
I don't know what she put.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to fruits.
Yeah.
That's super dope, Mfethu. Just to end the conversation, maybe is there something you think I didn't pick on or something you would just like the public to know about you or to teach, because we teach her.
Yeah. Something we didn't touch on. Oh, I forgot to mention. Peshaya drops. Peshaya, my song. It drops 21st of April on all digital platforms. Wow. Distributed by Electromode, published by Share. My husband is on the beats. I'm on the vocals. Shot 2 music videos for it. One in Atlanta, one in South Africa. The one in South Africa is dropping on the 28th of next week. So literally Friday in Nizozwango Dynasty. Then in June, we're dropping the one we shot in Atlanta. I directed it myself. It's a beautiful music video. It's a beautiful song. It celebrates very like it's kwaito, amapiano, hlangeni. Like it's South African sound. And that's one thing that I will never stop doing. South African sound. Purely South African. So let's stop.
Don't judge For me, Gifting Duma and Dynasty.
Future. Betty.
We nice.